Why do audiences love but critics hate the first Alvin and the Chipmunks movie? Alvin and the Chipmunks is a 2007 family comedy starring the Chipmunks. I think this movie is perfect for 2007. This is right before or just around the time these crossover real life and cartoon animations really started becoming a thing. There was obviously early examples such as Space Jam, and for 2007 the animation could be worse. It honestly could be considered slightly impressive at times. That being said, what do the movie critics and audience think about it? On Rotten Tomatoes, Alvin and the Chipmunks gets a 28% critic score and a 64% audience score. Quite a difference in between the two ratings. Critics say that while the animation is good, the movie suffers from bad humor, and that it mostly follows the early 2000s kid movie formula. Let me know your thoughts on the first Alvin and the Chipmunks movie. Do critics hate this Alvin and the Chipmunks sequel? Alvin and the Chipmunks The Squeakquel is a 2009 family comedy starring the Chipmunks. After the financial success of the first movie and a relatively decent audience reaction, like any good animated franchise, they are gonna need to make a sequel. Unfortunately, this one didn't seem to land with either critics or audiences. The animation in this movie is obviously impressive, but it's just a little uncanny maybe. Some would say a little creepy. Anyway, on Rotten Tomatoes, Alvin and the Chipmunks The Squeakquel gets a 21% critic score and a 49% audience score. The critic score is bad, the audience score isn't good. While I'm sure this movie was another financial success, I'm curious if the third movie also did well in the box office. Let me know what you think about this movie. Was this Alvin and the Chipmunks movie really that terrible? Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwrecked is a 2011 adventure comedy starring Jason Lee and Justin Long, as well as David Cross. I think the Chipmunks movies might be one of the most hated franchises of the 2010s, and just with the nature of the movies, they're not doing themselves any favors. Chipwrecked is probably my favorite of the bunch. Visually, the movie has its ups and downs, but at least the squeaky characters are in an interesting environment. It just feels like when watching this one that nobody wanted to do anything different. The makers of this movie just wanted to have an easy, clean, children's film. But all that being said, what do the movie critics think of it? On Rotten Tomatoes, Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwreck gets a 10% critic score and a 51% audience score. There are 50,000 ratings for the audience, and that's a pretty incredible amount. It seems like one of the only liked parts about the movie is Ian. I think Dave is a good character as well. But yeah, do you think this movie is terrible? And if not, what's your favorite Alvin and the Chipmunks film? Is this Alvin and the Chipmunks sequel hated by movie critics? Alvin and the Chipmunks The Road Chip is a 2015 animation adventure starring the typical Chipmunks cast. Now, all the way back in 2016, I decided I was going to try to watch this movie. And I went into it with the impression that it was going to be better than the rest of the movies in the franchise, since I heard a few people saying that. And I probably got around half an hour into it before shutting it off. So since I haven't seen the full movie, I technically can't give an actual review. Therefore, it got me wondering what the movie critics think of it. On Rotten Tomatoes, Alvin and the Chipmunks Road Chip has a 15% critic score and a 51% audience score, and it's about what I expected it to be rated, maybe a little bit higher. With a budget of around 90 million and its worldwide box office at 250 million, no matter what the critics thought about it, this was an immense financial success, and I'm just waiting for when they announce another Chipmunk sequel. My final rating for Road Chip is nothing since I didn't get through it, and let me know which one of the Chipmunks movies is your favorite.